Welcome to Business Insight Fredericton. I'm Krista Ross, CEO of the Fredericton Chamber of Commerce. Today, I'm speaking to Vicki Bohr, who's the owner of Urban Threadz.
For men too? For men?
They're unisex, men or women.
Well, Urban Threadz is a ladies' boutique right downtown Fredericton in a heritage home. We've had it for 10 years, and it's filled with women's, men's, home decor, and beauty products.
Tell me how the business got started, Vicki.
I've been doing interior design and decorating in Fredericton for about 15 years, and I wanted to open up a design studio. So Scott and I, when we saw this house, it was for sale by the government, and it had been empty for a long time. We decided to buy the house and put my studio downstairs and then live upstairs with me and our 3 daughters. So we started it off as a design studio. So then I started bringing in just little bits of things that I love, women's clothing, necklaces, scarves, just sort of as a side, and that kind of blew up. People loved it, they were coming in. So one day Scott's my husband, he sat down with me and he said, why don't you just have a ladies' boutique? And sort of out of the blue, within 3 days, we decided, yes, that would be an amazing thing. We sold all of the furniture and art and design stuff in the store and started looking for clothes and jewelry and stuff to open a boutique.
You mentioned that you did design work, so
Yes.
Tell me a bit about your background, Vicki.
So when we moved to Fredericton, Scott and I flipped quite a few homes, and we loved it so much that we decided it might be good for me to get my interior design course. So I went and did that course, and then I just started building up a clientele, and I loved it. I had so much fun doing it. But after a time period, it kind of did get tiring.
So when did you actually open in its current iteration, Urban Threadz?
Urban Threadz, actually, this November 9th, which is my birthday, will be our 10-year anniversary.
So you have so many unique items, clothing, jewelry, even some household items. How do you find these unique items for your store?
I actually travel to see reps at different parts of Canada, or even if I'm in another country visiting, I always make sure I go in to all these little stores, see what's unique and different, and then figure out a way to bring it here to my store.
Tell me about the structure of the business. Who are the owners? Is it you and Scott? Do you have employees? Tell me how that all works.
Yeah, so it's really just me and Scott. We've been working together on this business for the 10 years, and anybody who knows my husband knows he is really a hands-on type of man. The other funny thing about him is because he's raised daughters, so he's actually really good at the clothing buying and helping me with organizing and sorting things and putting displays in the store. We have 6 part-time girls that work for us right now, and we let them do their own scheduling. So that's one thing. As an entrepreneur and as a store owner, I want to make sure that my staff is happy. So as long as the shifts are covered, they can do what they like. And just this year, I decided to hire a manager. I really needed help because I do travel a lot at the buying shows, and I really needed somebody to help me organize the schedule and organize the store and make sure that inventory, when it arrived, that it was being, sorted properly. So we do have a lovely manager now.
You mentioned having great employees and having great staff. How do you find the right people that fit into sort of your corporate culture and to fit into the vibe that you've created?
The hardest part about being an entrepreneur, honestly, is staffing. Trying to find people that do fit in. The way that we want the store to be represented is really important to me because, yes, it's about the clothes that I have, but it's also about customer service. And staffing has been really difficult because I didn't grow up in an environment where there was entrepreneurs and staff, and Scott and I didn't have anybody to train us on how to find good staff. So it has been a challenge. I think when we do the interview process now, some of the questions that we ask are maybe a little bit different than the questions we would have asked before. So it's not so much about, do you have computer skills? Do you have, number skills? Or are you good on cash? Because those things we can train on. Now we mostly ask,
usually about
how are you with people? Are you shy? Can you talk to people? Would you be embarrassed to help dress somebody? Do you know how to step away if somebody looks like they don't want to be bugged? Do you know how to be good with presenting items to customers and not being too pushy? It's a whole different ball game when you have a ladies' boutique.
Who would you say, Vicki, is your main clientele? What does that person look like? What's their demographic?
Probably my demographic would be like 35 to 85. Somebody a little bit more mature, somebody who likes clothes that are really comfortable. We don't do a lot of fitted clothes, only because we know there's lots of stores that carry those kind of pieces. Whereas I want women to look beautiful, and so we want things that are flattering. And there's not a lot of stores that do that. And that still make you look beautiful. And I think I push the edge a little bit for women.
If that's your demographic, how do you reach them?
The good thing about our demographic is they still love shopping in stores. So we do a lot of advertising on Facebook. We have cash and carry events. I send out emails. Every single day we post images and photos of some of the beautifully highlighted clothing. We put things together. People who follow me on Facebook will see something new and different every single day.
So which social media are you on?
We're on Instagram and Facebook. I haven't quite figured out TikTok.
A lot of people are beginning to use that for advertising. That will, I would suspect, maybe be your next move.
Right.
So what about word of mouth? Has that helped your business?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think that is probably the biggest way that our business spreads. So many people go home, grab their friends, tell them to come in. They have to see what's here. And people just love it. Mostly word of mouth. I have my daughter who just came on board. She lives in Vancouver, and luckily she's very good with all of the social media posting, how to post things, how to make them look good, how to advertise. So she's working from there to help me build that.
So tell me how you think about competition.
I don't really spend a lot of time seeing what other people have. I just do my own thing. I just buy my own thing. I buy what I love. I spend a lot of time, like I said, picking and sourcing things. I know there was a worry a while ago that online sales was going to be our biggest competition because people were going to start buying online, and they did, especially during COVID. But what happened is during the 2 years, or we're almost into 3 years now, that COVID happened, I think people kind of missed the one-on-one experience of walking into a store and touching the clothes and talking with, the staff and talking with the customers. So I don't feel like online is a competition for us. I don't worry about competition too much.
You mentioned COVID. Tell me how COVID impacted your business.
I really loved the downtime that we had. We wanted to expand into men's clothes, and so there was a part of the store that needed to be renovated. And because our store is open every single day, including Sunday, there was really no time to do that. We also did want to explore a little bit about going online, just so that I could let people know exactly what we have in the store. So that period of COVID allowed us to renovate the back room over the period of 3 or 4 weeks. My husband didn't have to go to work, so he got to stay home with me, and we did all of the renovations ourselves. We had to completely change everything in the store to an online basis store so that my customers could see things online when COVID was happening and purchase them. We also had the benefit of living in the house We didn't have as much overhead as some people would have had during COVID times, meaning expenses like rent or lease. To be truthful, I know it sounds funny, but COVID was one of my best years in sales. You know, it also gave us a chance for my store to do bigger things for our community.
Tell me about that.
So what we did is we decided that we were going to donate all of our points program, if customers wanted, to buy goods to put together care packages for the healthcare workers. So we put a big blitz email out asking the customers if they wanted to donate their $5 points. For every dollar that you spend here, you get a point. And after a while, it adds up, you know, into a dollar amount that you can use for the store, for shopping. So I would say everybody who was in that program donated those funds towards us being able to put packages together. And then the store donated, and then there was people, I believe even such as yourself, that donated and helped us do that. And we put together thousands of packages. I think in total it was maybe $5,000 worth of product. To make it even better, the premier gave me an award during COVID for doing that, which I had no idea was happening. But it was just an added bonus, but it was so nice for us because it made us feel really, really good.
Okay, we've all heard the term retail therapy.
Yes.
I feel as if there might be a vibe in your store that really is therapy. Tell me what you think.
Absolutely. It's funny because Mondays is our busiest day in the store. And people always say, Monday, what's up with Monday? Well, Monday is girls' day, I would have to imagine, because they've spent their time with their families on the weekend. It's not Thursday, Friday, maybe with their husbands or their partners. Come Monday, all of the girls come out and they shop and they laugh and they throw clothes into the change room, and then they put on similar outfits and they have such a good time. It is so fun and so funny, and really, I think it just makes people feel good. There's a lot of husbands that come shopping with their wives because they love it. They love seeing their wives trying on stuff, and sometimes the wives throw their husbands in some things, and I think it just makes you feel good. And for us, whether you buy something or not, it doesn't matter to us. It's about the experience, and there's nothing better than having someone come in the store and get so excited by just being here. And that's all that I need.
Welcome back to Business Insight Fredericton. I'm your host, Krista Ross, CEO of the Fredericton Chamber of Commerce. We're going to learn some more about Urban Threadz. Vicki, what would you say in the business is your biggest success?
For me to be open for 10 years, which I can't even believe how fast that went. And hearing, I always tell these funny stories. I was in Victoria one time, BC, standing in line at this beautiful Italian restaurant that we always love to go to. And I get this little tap on my shoulder, and Scott and I turn around and we look, and there's this beautiful lady standing in these beautiful clothes. And she says, "You're Victoria, aren't you?" And I said, "Yes." And she goes, "You own Urban Threadz." She says, "Look at my outfit." And she literally came to Fredericton to visit, bought that outfit, and was wearing it in Victoria. I don't know who she is, but she knew me from Instagram and Facebook and knew I was the owner of Urban Threadz. Those kinds of things, that just pumps you up forever.
So that's your success.
Yes.
If you had to say there's been an area that you feel was a failure, or maybe we can turn that into a learning experience,
Right.
what would that be?
Oh gosh, I think I'd have to go back to the staffing. Just really struggling with how to have a relationship with your staff that's professional, the fair, firm, friendly. I've talked to a lot of business people on this and how to maintain a friendship with somebody and be on good terms, but still have your expectations. That's probably been my hardest challenge. And then the second thing would be overbuying. I buy way too much inventory, so I have storage rooms full of clothing that apparently I shouldn't have, because it's not good for a business, but I can't help it.
Nobody can be alone in a business. Are there organizations that have helped you on your entrepreneurial journey?
Well, definitely the Chamber of Commerce, because they always have lots of courses and things for me to look at. A lot of times I just sit and I read things that they've posted. And, when there's politics or things involved, they've definitely helped us during COVID. Another organization that has helped me out a lot is Downtown Fredericton.
Vicki, being an entrepreneur, is it what you expected, or what has surprised you?
I think it is what I expected. I'm not really a person who likes to work for other people, and that's the truth. I work better independently, and I work better building my own success because I'm a thinker, I'm a planner, I'm a builder, I'm a designer. And when you work for someone else, you can have all these great ideas and plans for them, which happened to me often when I worked for other people. But it's not your business. And a lot of times, other businesses that I worked for didn't really want to add those things to their business, which is totally understandable. But I can't help it. I'm always thinking, what is a better way to do something? How do I plan this? And so in a lot of the businesses that I did work in, I did make things better for them. But then I got thinking I should be doing that for myself. And now I can plan my own events, decide what I want to do, decide if I want to give discounts to people. I love it when customers come in the store and I can just give out cookies or candies or samples or, I'm constantly just doing little things for my customers. If I didn't own the store, I couldn't do that.
So you have a busy family life. You and Scott have 3 children.
Yes.
7 grandchildren.
Yes.
And I know that keeps you really busy. Tell me about working with your husband. How has that been better or worse than working with other people? And does it make you better communicators?
We work better together because we both have our strengths. So whereas Scott is the person who can haul things, make things, build things, I'm the person who plans things, organizes things, makes things happen, designs things. And he's so happy to implement everything that I do. And I'm so happy that he can implement everything that I love and do. We really try hard to have a family life as well with our children, because sometimes when you're a business owner, you forget that you have a life and that you need to be with your family, be with your friends. It can very easily become so overwhelming. We try really hard to make sure that we keep our lives well balanced.
You live in the same building where your business is housed.
Yes.
Does that mean that you work more than you should, or how does that work for you?
No, in fact, I think it's better. For the last 10 years, if something went wrong, I could just run downstairs and fix it. And I don't have to be there. I don't have to have the panic of, geez, I got to get in my car, I go drive somewhere and do something. It's been wonderful, especially while we're setting up the systems and trying to make sure everything is going well. That being said, I am expanding to a business off-site, but I feel like we've got our systems together and then we're in a good place that I hopefully won't have to drive and fix things all the time.
So you've mentioned expansion. Can you tell me about that?
I need to now have a bigger store to house everything that I feel I want. And I can't let go of lines. I have to bring in the petites and the plus size and things for people that I know that they love. So in the last 2 months, we have a new location for the store. It's big. It's about 3,000 square feet.
Wow.
It's huge. It is going to be a place where we're going to house all of Urban Threadz. We also have Threadsman, which is our men's line of clothes. So we really wanted to make a nice place for men to shop as well. We feel like the other store at the north side was too small and cramped, and we really wanted to make it nice. And Scott loves clothes, so he's super excited to be buying Threadsman clothes for people in Fredericton. We're bringing all of Urban Threadz, which is our women's line and decor. But the most exciting thing is we're opening a store for kids and babies.
Wow.
And it's called Little Piccolo. And Little Piccolo is an Italian form of endearment. I'm Italian, well, part Italian, half Newfie. And my Italian relatives in Toronto would always kind of pinch your cheeks and say, oh, such a little piccolo. And it was a cute thing. And so when my daughter and I were trying to decide the name of the store, we decided that would be such a cute little name. So we're really working together to build a unique store again. It's going to be clothes that have been curated and shopped from around the world. Things that you're not going to necessarily see in any store. And we're going to have so many cute things for the kids to do. And at the new store, we're also going to have a coffee center for women because, again, it's about creating an experience. And we feel like women go for coffee and then they come shopping. Well, why not have a little coffee and then go shopping? So we're creating an experience at our new store that I don't think anybody's really done in maybe perhaps a very long time.
Vicki, what is the best advice that you would give someone who was planning to be an entrepreneur or who was starting their entrepreneurial journey?
You know, I would say to take your business little bits at a time. Don't think you can do everything. Everything is a process. And you can't be good at everything. And I think sometimes when you own a business, you think you have to be good at everything. It's just not possible. And don't beat yourself up if you can't do something. And make sure that you have the ability to change and quickly pivot. Because sometimes as an entrepreneur, we have this goal and this, this vision of how we want our business to go. But that vision may not be good for business, not 100%. So sometimes we have to switch and turn and pivot and make things right for your business and really take time for yourself. People who are entrepreneurs work way too hard. If you can delegate to other people, even small things, stocking your shelves, putting tags on things. We always just think we're the only ones that can do it, but it's not. There are lots of people that can help you, and then that allows you to open up, to expand your business in different ways that maybe you didn't realize.
Vicki, tell me what you're most proud of in this business.
I think I'm most proud of my progress as a woman. When we raise children and you're a military wife and your options are really limited. Growing up in a family where I was not allowed an education, was not allowed to go to university or college, kind of put me in a position where I didn't know what I wanted to be. So I'm really proud of myself for pushing through those obstacles and to be proud of myself as a woman and to make decisions that I want to make.
Vicki, thank you so much for spending time with me today, learning more about Urban Threadz and your plans for the coming months and years. It's been a great experience. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's really been fun.
We're always looking for great companies with a unique story to feature on the show. If you have suggestions, please get in touch with us.